Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Puck Witches, a vibes-based podcast where we yap about all things hockey. Today is December 19th, 2025. I'm your host, Saint, and this is my partner in crime, Champ. Champ, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's almost Christmas.
It is almost Christmas.
I'm getting what I want.
Yeah, fuck you. As always, we have a lot to discuss this episode, so let's jump right into it. Champ, we got to talk about it.
You know, you and I have had this conversation quite a bit.
Every episode.
Well, that too. But this is a different conversation. It's that we absolutely hate watching the Oilers versus the Pens. Because we become different people. We become the people we are when we watch playoffs.
Yeah, I'm like, I love and adore the Oilers.
Uh-huh.
They've been my playoff team. They're the reason I got into hockey.
Yeah.
I want them to win a cup so bad it makes my teeth hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I will fucking kill them if they do that to the Pens again. I cannot stop. We had like one win against you guys in like 10 years or whatever since Connor became. Stop it.
It's
Please,
great. I love.
Enough. Have I not suffered enough? He went to the finals and we can't even make playoffs. You can't let me have this regulation season win.
No. For those who did not know, the Oilers versus the Pens played each other in an explosive matchup after the big trade between Jarry and Skinner. And it was already going to be emotional for Saint and I because we hate watching these teams play each other at the same time. It's awful. Like we are not the people. We're not. I haven't talked to you since Tuesday.
Yeah, it broke our friendship for like 2 days. This is exactly what happened. So for when we first got into hockey, obviously when I'm all in, I'm all in.
Right.
And I was like, we had gotten into hockey in early February.
February 8th, 2024. Ugh.
Early March, I'm like, let's go to I already had a jersey and I wanted to go to a Penguins game. And you were like, well, and we brought the family, whatever. The point is we went to an Oilers versus Penguins game because we
expecting it to be the same kind of fun that we had at the Vegas game with the Oilers.
It was soul crushing.
Oh,
you didn't have fun. It was fun to like, because I knew going in we weren't gonna win.
Yeah.
But it was a shutout, like a 4-0 shutout. And like the fans were pissed. We got our fight.
Yeah.
But like not hearing any goals. And it was like my first time at PPG. And I was like this. And it was one of those things where like I still had fun.
Yeah. Because it's hockey.
Because it's hockey. And I'll even, no matter what, going to a hockey game is fun for me, even when it's an awful blowout or just terrible game. But we looked at each other while sitting on the first goal and said, we can never do this again. We can never go to a game where like one of our teams, like the Oilers and Pens, basically.
Yes.
I can go to, and I will be like the Bruins and Pens. It'll be painful, but I can manage it like, or like whatever. You can see like the Kraken and the Oilers and stuff, but not, I cannot handle the Oilers versus the Pens.
It's something that I cannot physically do it. And so whenever we're watching these games, it's painful because we both see things that we want to comment on for the other team. I think I was watching the Pens for more of this game than I was watching the Oilers. And then halfway through, I was like, this isn't a Pens game. It's an Oilers game. And you were like, no, it's a Pens game. And I was like, oh.
I see.
Even worse, obviously, was the narrative. We get the narrative of Sid versus Connor all the time. That's usually what it plays every single time the Pens face the Oilers. But this time, it was Jarry versus Skinner. And I think it's bullshit that they put Skinner in net for his first game against the Oilers, where Leo was 100% going to get his 1,000th point.
This is one of those things where, like, I know it's hockey.
Yeah.
And I know it's
business.
You have to separate that. I don't know how as Stu I would have been able to like, or as like Connor or like Leon, I think I would have just pulled Stu in. I think like I'm just picturing like me and like
on the ice when he scored.
Yeah, like when he scored and like they had the benches clear, and I get it. There's almost like it's almost like a decorum thing, right? Of like you're on the other team and you can't you're not an Oiler anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just as someone who's very sentimental in like a loyal way, like I am a very loyal person. if I was Leah, I would have pulled Stu in.
I would have
given
too.
him something like,
and
which,
there's videos.
Dabo tapped it. Yeah, like they've been tapping each other and like do it, which is, but it's also a hockey game and they want to win. So I get why they had to put that barrier there. But damn, I feel like that was really rough for Kulak and for Stu.
It hurt. It's funny though, because we've had all of these recent Oilers kind of giving us aid. Troy Stecher in the Leafs gave us an own goal. Stu and Kulak. Kulak got a penalty because
it was a 2 minutes delay a game.
Stu, and it wasn't his fault. I will say that I do think Stu is that sets Stu up mentally for a rough introduction into the Pens organization. I don't think that you said it best, that they sold more tickets because of the narrative, but that's a really hard time for your goalie. And Stu is an incredible goalie mentally. Like, he rarely listens to the noise. I think the only time he actually listened to the noise was the Vancouver series in 2024. And then, he got over it because he had to. Like, he had to buckle down. Whereas some goalies listen a lot to the media. Some players do too. But it's just hard when you are seeing the other side of it and you can't. Like they had to hug after the game. They had to stick tap. Connor looked back at Stu every single time that they got scored on. Like, that's his goal. That's his starter goalie. And so it's just gut-wrenching. I felt sick to my stomach the entire time watching it.
Yeah, it wasn't, even if the Pens had like showed up to play, it was still not an enjoyable experience in terms of like, you could feel it that like, and Jari was like, we drafted him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he was our goalie. Like, he was our starting goalie for so long. And like
10
he
years,
was supposed to
decade?
be 9 seasons he played with the Pens. And like, so it's just one of those things where, damn. I understand. And I get it. Like, I 100% get it. It had to happen. It would, whatever our feelings about the trade. It's just, I think the human side gets ignored so much, aka my current beef with the Penguins is that they're having a psychological breakdown because we're a bad team. We knew that we weren't going to be like,
number one.
We knew we weren't going to be cup contenders, but there's no reason this team should not be in contention for a wild card spot. We're just not that bad. Like, you just like the team is better than that overall, other than our defense.
They're better than breaking down 5-goal leads.
They just are voting. I'm just so frustrated because it's like, it felt like at the start of the season that I was praising how the coaching was going to take accountability into action of like, hey, if you're fucking up all the time, you're going to get reduced minutes, or you're going to get benched. We're going to swap people. We'll send people down. We'll do this. And then I don't feel like that's what's happening.
I'm not sure he can. Everybody's injured.
Well, injured. We have a lot of fourth liners and third D pairings that are getting that, and they're all that way. You know what I mean? We just don't have center depth. Even without Gino out, it was like I don't know. Gino being back and Lizotte being back, I think will help a ton.
Are they back?
No. I'm just saying when they come back, probably in January. But just like it's just, man,
it's interesting actually.
Get him a sports psychologist. Just get him a sports psychologist. Get them a team outing. Get him a sports psychologist.
I'm not even fucking kidding. Go to Lion King.
Go to me. Listen, I'm probably more of I'm a problem. That's what I identify as. I'm a problem. I will become the problem so they can unite together. You know what I mean?
So you're John Tortorella.
No. But probably a little bit. But like, just, what do we have to do? Do we have to get you guys in an escape room? Like, they clearly, and I'm not kidding, they genuinely need a sports psychologist because it's all mental. They have it there, but just stupid mistakes of them scrambling. They are panicking instead of being patient. I think some of them are still hurt and are hiding it, and like still playing hurt, but just dumb shit, dumb shit. And they're phoning it in for a paycheck. And honestly, if I'm Kyle DeBoss, I'd be like, listen, we're not going to trade people who want to be here. If you don't want to be here, say so. I'll flip you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, get out. We'll take you for a pick. We'll take you for somebody else who wants to be here. Like,
and I understand. It is interesting though that you talk about their blowing the leads, because you came up with something this week that was very interesting, and I will not allow you to do it, but it was very interesting. Can you explain?
There's two parts to this one. I didn't come up with it.
Okay.
It was on Reddit.
Oh, no.
And someone posted about how statistically gambling sites had not caught up to the fact that the Pens always lose with a 3-goal lead,
right?
Or like lose in the third. Like they always blow a goal or a lead in the third, right? And because the rest of the league is like 76-0 for if you enter the third period going with a 3-goal lead. You can blow 3-goal leads before the third period, but if you go into the third with a 3-goal lead, nobody loses except the Pens. Mm-hmm. It's clearly we are cursed. So someone had bet $10 in the third, like when they were up like 5 goals or whatever, 4 goals.
For the Kraken?
The chance of no.
Or for the Sharks?
It was the Shark. I think it was the Sharks game. And so, like, they're up like 5-1. Like, there's no way in the fourth period or in the third period that they're gonna get 4 goals.
Wow.
And so someone saw that and in the third bet on the Sharks winning before they had scored another goal.
Yeah.
Because the odds went from a $10 bet to $112. So it's like if I was like $10 is $10 if you got to be an Etsy witch. And the problem is that I forgot how cursed I am.
Yeah.
And I was literally looking up gambling sites and like, can I do this how much do I have to put into this? Right. Cause I'm committed to the bit, but also this is a one-time thing. And then the Pens proceeded to, never get a lead and then proceeded to get shut out.
Yeah.
So, the gods hate me specifically because I could have had like $100 on this. Bruh, I need you to know that as revenge for not remembering to tell your husband about hiring an Etsy witch, he Venmo'd me $10.
I did see that. I did.
So that I could bet at the Penguins.
I did see that in our Venmo history, and I went, for the bit, what the fuck is that about? And then now that makes so much more sense. Oh my fucking God.
He messaged me and was like, I hope you win, but I couldn't place the bet because so I'll be saving that $10, Austin, for a rainy day. That'll become the $10 for the bit. Yep. Speaking of sending me money, we got a comment on one of our shorts this week.
Oh my God.
The person said, I believe it was, and I quote, "Who is this woman?" Thank you, I think, for calling me a woman and not like a girl, or maybe he's called me a girl. I don't remember, but he was like, "And how do I shut her up?" And I was like, "You pay me $100." So if you're sick,
you should have gone higher. You should have gone higher.
But I didn't say how long I was going to shut up for. Okay, like there's a terms of contract. $8,000 to buy my silence for a month. $100, I'll shut up for like 5 minutes.
Oh my God!
Anyway, so 10 minutes. So
all right,
if you want to shut me up for 5 minutes, just comment down below and I'll give you my Venmo.
Speaking of haters, Saint, I don't know if you've noticed this. It's been a really interesting thing to see the Quinn Hughes fans versus the Canucks fans all over Twitter. After the trade with Quinn Hughes, we got to see some true colors, which was between the Quinn Hughes fans who are rooting for him to succeed, and it doesn't matter where he plays, he'll do whatever he wants, and he'll go on to succeed somewhere else, versus the Canucks fans who started calling him a traitor and a bad captain and immediately turning against him. Did you see anything about this?
I did. I saw. So it was weird. It was like, because I get all sides of hockey Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like joking about new fans who had gotten into hockey for heated rivalry. And then we're going to narrowly escape being Canucks fans because Quinn Hughes, who is one of, the superstars, was now on the Minnesota Wild. And then I did see that like people were talking about like it was even internal, right? Because you have people who are like, kind of fangirls, whatever. Yeah. And I'm a fangirl for my team. I don't like, I identify as a fangirl. Like, yeah. But so these people were like with saying that they're mutuals, like people that they were mutuals with on Twitter or on TikTok, they thought that they were Canucks fans and they weren't. They're Quinn Hughes fans. And that those people were like switching to be Wild fans now because they were following Quinn Hughes to the Wild. And I feel like there's no real wrong way to root for a hockey.
I think we've had this conversation before. You're allowed to root for whatever level you are, because we started off as players, fans of the players, and then immediately, like, once we got into playoffs, I think we both realized, oh no, we are team fans. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with being a player fan as long as you go out and support.
We are player fans to a degree too, because it's like
I'm still crying over Skinner.
Yeah, like I'm upset about Jari. Like I'm sad that the way that ended, and like I'm happy Brad Marchand is happy in Florida, but like I'm still gonna root for his personal success.
Correct.
If that makes sense. But when it's the Panthers playing the Penguins, I'm not gonna be rooting for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's just like I'm rooting for you as an individual, and like it's sort of the way of how we root for certain teams, like how we have them ranked. Where it's like, listen, I like you when you're not playing my team. You know, I want you to do well when you're not playing my team. And then there's other people that it's like, I loved them when they were they were on my team.
Yes.
And then when they were off my team, it's like, I hold a little bit of fondness to you, but I'm not following you.
Exactly. The difference for me, we call it the Golden Crew, which was the 2024 Oilers. I love Vincent Descharnais, and I am so happy that he's found a home on the Sharks.
Emotional support, third line.
Yeah, exactly. Way emotional support. I whenever I see his name pop up, I'm delighted to see him. Versus Ryan McLeod in Buffalo. He's still on he was on the 2024 Oilers. I see him and I'm like, oh, Clowder. And that's about it. Or Warren Fogle, same thing. It's like, oh, Fogle. And then that's it, literally it. It's name recognition at that point. But it was also interesting because now that we've been into hockey for a while, do you consider yourself still a player fan or a team fan?
I think I'm a diehard. I think I've basically picked I'm a diehard for the Penguins because of Sid and Gino, and then I will stay a Pens fan probably forever.
That's who you've fallen in love with.
Yeah, that's my team. The Oilers, because they have Leon locked up, I will be an Oilers fan. If Leon was not locked up, I probably would have followed Leon to a different team if it wasn't one that I hated. Like if he went to like the Stars or like the Kraken for whatever reason, or the Sharks, or like, you know, a team that's on my like, you know, we're okay / nuance list, it would be fine. If he went to a team that I absolutely fucking hated, I would probably still be an Oilers fan, but I would be happy for Leon. It's one of those things of like, it's funny how so many people take it personal. And it's not a bad thing. That's just human psychology. It's like so many players who, you know, were diehard Rantanen fans, and then after everything that happened and now he's on the Stars, like they that was your guy. He won a cup with you, and they were like, fuck this dude. Like I can't do that.
That's what's interesting to me recently because of how many Canucks fans are all of a sudden. This was what took me out. They started going, well, Cale Makar is better than Quinn Hughes. And now's a great time to say he wasn't even a great captain. I'm like, wait a minute. You can have these thoughts and speak them before he's your captain. Like, Connor McDavid is not perfect. I will support him ride or die, but I will also be the first to criticize him because that's my captain. I'm the one who's going to talk about him. You don't have to press all of your emotions down just because it's your captain. Or now it's cool to hate Quinn Hughes because he's on the Minnesota Wild. Or even worse, now you're just bitter because he left your team. And he left your team because management didn't do their job.
I think it's an interesting aspect of the human psychology of it, where it's like the sort of like tribalism that happens with rooting for sport teams. It is like a well-documented phenomena that like the team comes first and you're a fan of the team. And when players leave your team, some people might hold fondness to them, but it is very common to feel that like
they betrayed you.
Especially when that player was a good player. That's what I've noticed. So it's like, and I don't want to do this to you, but I am going to ask you a hard question.
I know it's coming.
You knew, right? Brace yourself for impact. Okay. Yep. If Connor doesn't win a cup and doesn't extend with the Oilers to go cup chasing, do you stop being an Oilers fan, or do you go follow Connor?
So here is what I've told people who have asked me this question, because this came up over the summer. It came up before he signed ahead of the season, and it came up when he only signed for 2 years. If we can't get him a cup in 2 years, then I feel like he has every right to go chase a cup. Because it's not that the organization has failed him. He gave them his terms. He signed for 2 more years when he did not have to. And he said, prove it to me that you've got this going and that you're actually trying. And then if after those 2 years we failed him or we still can't get over the hump, then he has every right to go to a different team. Like he's been proven that they can't win him a cup. They can't build around him. And so he goes on elsewhere. The only thing is, I've had people go, well, Gretzky left and went to the Kings, and that was for money. That was not for a cup. It was for a cup, but it wasn't for a cup. It was for money. If it was only for money that Connor was chasing, like he wins a cup and then decides, okay, but I could make $1 bajillion with the Florida Panthers, then I'd be hurt. Like, that's a whole different conversation.
I pretty much have the exact same feelings of like, I think there's players who, they all want to win the cup, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's obviously players who want to win it more. And I think players like Connor McDavid, that is his only reason for playing. I
Correct.
think too, like to this degree, you know what I'm saying? Like he wants the cup more than anything else.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he's got to go get his cup. And like, for me, if it was somebody who was like Jake Guentzel, he got his cup with us. Mm-hmm. So like, and he knew that we weren't contention. I think he felt a little slighted.
Yes.
But I just maybe the way it was handled, and I think DeBoss has learned from it. Not that he handled it poorly, but just that like he realized how sentimental the Penguins are.
Yeah.
And emotional. But Jake Guentzel went and he got that bag, and I was like, I can't blame him. Like he still went to a contention team, but like if a player who has like already won the cup wants to go get paid bank, I'm not gonna really blame them for that, but they have to get that cup first. You know what I mean?
With
like,
the team that they're supposed to be loyal to.
Yeah, like
especially if it's a superstar that was drafted by a specific team, like Quinn Hughes. He was drafted by the Canucks, and he knew at this point he is not going to win a cup with them, so he left. It's not, oh well, we're not going to get a cup, so now I'm going to go make bank elsewhere. He's trying to get that cup still. And I do think that, like, the loyalty comes after you've won the cup, for me. So, like, Sid and Gino, they won a cup early. And then they were like, okay, we can do this again. And then they won the cup twice. And, continued to grow. But they stayed with the Pens because they are loyal to the organization that gave them that cup. I understand the go chase that bag after you've won your cup, but for me, that's when I go, okay, I get it, but I think it's a little unfair because I'm a loyal bitch. I'm one of those people where
we are the definition of ride or die.
Correct.
We do not fuck around with it. And so we joke about like different scenarios and things like that. And like the end goal, like if I had to sell you for $1 million, I would then come get you back. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So we'll game the system together, but I'm ride or die.
Exactly. So it is like, it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. I don't like the narrative of betrayal for Quinn Hughes because I don't think he betrayed. I think he is doing what's best for him when it comes to, he wants that goal of winning the Stanley Cup. And I get it. Sometimes it really is just business. So
I don't know, man. It's just like Quinn Hughes, wasn't he really more betrayed opposite? Like I think that some of the things that came out about like negotiations has kind of upset certain people. And I don't know that locker room. Maybe he isn't a good leader. Maybe he's kind of an asshole. I don't know him.
Yeah.
But like I to pretend I'm not being parasocial here, but
I was gonna say we're not Canucks fans enough to be parasocial with them.
Yeah, but like I just feel that really you're gonna claim that he was betrayed? Dude, the organization betrayed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they made playoffs 2 years ago and then they just completely collapsed. They didn't make good roster decisions, and now there's the news that so the Abbotsford Canucks
my god
won the Calder Cup with, and like Artur Shilov, who's now the Penguins goalie, they still haven't gotten their cup rings, like their championship rings. Like,
and they don't know where they are.
Like they have no idea. And I'm like, dude, we're halfway through the season. Like, what are we doing? Like, it to me, it speaks of an organizational failure, and
Yes.
you can't get it's sort of like I don't want to like be weird about it, but in abusive families, if you bail, you often become the enemy
Yeah.
because people get mad that you got to leave. And that's kind of how I feel like the Quinn Hughes situation is, where it's like, oh, he got out and everybody's mad that he got out. Like, oh man.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of trades, tonight is the trade deadline, and honestly, for the holidays, like there will be another major crash out on trade deadline in March 8th, or March 7th, excuse me, which is hysterical because A, that's your birthday, and B, we see each other the day after. So, podcast reaction recorded, filmed, and then I see you, and then I come home and I edit the podcast reaction. So it's gonna be great. But I did see this interesting tweet from Pierre LeBrun that all 16 teams in the Eastern are .50 or 500 or better in points, which is just insanity versus the 7 teams in the Western Conference that are below the 500 mark. While there are also the 3 best teams in the league at the top. So by the time this episode comes about, the trade deadline will be over. But do you think that there is any trade waiting until after the trade deadline that you want to see?
I mean, so the top 3 teams in the West are in the Central Division.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I just to comment on the fact that the East is so much more even spaced. I
Yeah.
think that, we kind of joked last year about like how other than the Panthers, there really wasn't anybody going to stand up to the Panther. There was nobody really strong enough. The East, I think, is overall better for how close it is. Because it's more interesting to have everybody be like, it's almost like higher stakes of like, who makes these trades? Like, do you make one trade and it makes your team better, or does it make it worse? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a much higher stakes. For actual movements, I don't know. The Pens have a lot that we're banking on. Kyle DeBoss is setting us up for the future of the Penguins organization right now. I would have liked to see him use some of that cap space. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I would have liked to see something like some kind of center depth. Is there somebody that we could swipe and trade? Like, but I guess there's a real depth problem in the NHL overall. Is you have such a high skill difference between the lowest players in the NHL and the highest players in the NHL.
Correct.
Like we've talked about S tier and then S plus tier. Like your actual like Connor McDavid and Quinn Hughes and Campbell Crawford, like people who are just in a complete different league of their own, and even the best of the best, they're generational talents. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Quinn Hughes, I think, is a generational defenseman.
I agree.
So it's just like, what do you do? Like for a lot of these teams in the East, at the very least, where it's like West, I feel like they're tanking for McKenna. And then in the East, it's like, do you kind of commit to tank because the wild card race is so brutal? Or do you fight tooth and nail and start looking at some pieces?
Well, isn't it funny? Because last year we had, at the very end of the season, we had like 4 Western teams that were out completely for the chance. Like 3 weeks before the first East Coast team got eliminated.
Yeah, it's been 2 straight years of the War of the 5 Kings in the East.
Yeah.
Where the Central Division and
that we are aware of.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. The last 2 years, it's just been like in the West, it was like whatever 4 teams that you were like, oh, they're cooked. They're not getting in. And you knew that by like January. Like we knew that by almost
Thanksgiving.
No, like not that bad. But I mean, we knew it was bad, but like I would like where they were mathematically out of real contention were like, unless they won 15 straight games or something like that. It was like right after 4 Nations where it was like, oh, you're done. And even before 4 Nations, there was a couple where it was like mathematically they're not out yet, but they basically are. Whereas again, in the East, there's
every single team's above 500.
Yeah, but the thing is that there's a lot of overtimes.
Yeah.
There's differences in games played that is going to make a difference in some of those where like you need to have 8 win or you need to have 4 wins in a row to catch the next you know what I mean? Like there's some maths in there that isn't shown because of how the games played in that points percentage is going to factor in. But yeah, I do think the Eastern Conference race may kill me because I did genuinely have hopes that the Pens might make playoffs this year. And we're not, here's the thing. All this doom and gloom, we're on like a 7-game loss streak as of right now. And I think we play again tomorrow. Yep. We're still not completely out of the race yet. Like we're not in the bottom. It's still like we could get a wild card. Yeah. Like I don't like the dooming. And again, sports psychologists, please. Just let me come and talk to just let me come and talk to the Penguins. Just let me come and talk to the Penguins, boys. I'm not gonna fix you. I might make it worse, but at least I will try. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Well, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what do you think anybody should like? Is there someone in the West that you think should be making moves? Do you think that like players...
the Kraken? And we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But the Kraken right now have got to do something.
Oh man.
Yeah, which is
they were doing so.
They were, and we have a friend who is having a bad time, and I'm like, you could do this. You've chosen a very interesting time to get into the Kraken, but that's my thought is who probably needs to make changes, but I'm not necessarily thinking in trade changes. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, Saint, I have been wanting to show you this all freaking day. I messaged you like twice saying, don't you dare listen to it.
Because so I saw the Flyers response.
Yep.
But I didn't see the hot mic, and I was gonna go look for it, and I just couldn't be fucking bothered. I was like, I got other shit to do with the Flyers.
The Philadelphia Flyers on their Fanatics thing, like their radio show.
Their radio show. Okay, because we have like everybody has like their like we have Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
We have 880
and then we have the radio show.
Yeah.
On top of that, like versus the broadcast.
So I'm gonna show you this.
Okay.
It made me actually gasp at work, so just be prepared.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
While you're down there, would you mind blowing me? I think we're still on the air, Tim.
Where was the producer?
No, we're not, are we? That's
what that was? I'm sorry. Hold on. First of all, that's kind of fucking funny.
Yep.
Like inappropriate. Yes.
He was talking
super inappropriate.
He was talking to his co-host, which is even more hysterical.
That's really funny. Now, I was worried he was saying this to like, because out of context, I'm like, I can't see them. I was worried that he was talking to like somebody who was like picking something up. So he's talking to his co-host. That's so fucking funny. And that's so, okay. We are aware of the inappropriate comment made during last night's radio broadcast. Sabres. It's always with the Sabres.
It's always the Sabres.
These remarks do not reflect the standards of conduct or values we expect from anyone associated with our organization.
Boo!
You can't just blow your buddy, man. That's what they said. You can't help but hold me out.
They got rid of Joel Farabee and
Jim Morgan Frost. Effective immediately, the Flyers, along with our radio partners, 97.5 The Fanatic, have issued a 2-game suspension while we address this matter with all parties involved. We take this matter very seriously and sincerely apologize to our listeners, fans, and those affected by those comments. What do you mean? We've heard, like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. I totally get it. I don't really think the radio is, like, a family listening thing.
Yeah.
Like, usually if you're watching hockey with the kids, you're either at the game or you're watching on TV. I just don't feel like the radio is a kid's
I agree. And I don't think that, I think you could explain that away. This is from 2 people who do not have children, by the way. I think that it was funny. Like, I think it's
objectively hysterical once you know the context.
It reminds me of, I don't know if you've seen this, but it was the weenie,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it reminds me of.
That's exactly what it is. It's just a hot mic moment. I'm sorry,
funny.
But you, as someone who has worked as a producer, where the fuck was their producer not telling them that was a hot mic for a while?
That producer either was not paying attention or they didn't know it was a hot mic. So sometimes you won't know it's a hot mic. because the
but
audio
he was
off.
like, ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-da. Like,
oh my God.
They were like that I would have been like, oh shit, we're still on the, like, I don't know. Do they not have like when we're recording right now, I'm looking at OBS and I see our, like our bars going up, and I understand that on the radio you don't necessarily have that, but do you guys not have like a live on air button, like some visual indicator?
The rule of thumb is you're not supposed to say anything crazy when a mic is pinned to you. Like,
that's what I was always taught.
Exactly.
Like in theater was like, you have to assume
it's
the mic is always on.
Yep.
Yeah, and when you're getting like, because when like TV crews are there and you're near near a TV camera, you have to assume the camera is on you. You have to assume the camera's on you, and you have to assume the mic is on you.
So many stories of people who just did not care. And like, I don't know if it's a reporter thing or like a host thing, because the producers lose their mind every single time. The reporters, they get mad for like 5 minutes and then they're like, well, what can you do? Do you think this warranted a 2-game suspension?
I think that's crazy.
I think it's dumb.
Like he
just
said,
apologize on air afterwards.
I totally understand that it was super inappropriate. Because it was a comment of a sexual nature, which kind of is what's funny, is that like they're such fucking prudes in America that it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he could have said, you fucking asshole or something like that. Like, he could have been like, it would not have been a 2-game. I don't think it would have been a 2-game suspension if he had just like sworn. Fair. I think it was literally just, that's what I feel like is it could have been a fine, because you would be, I believe, for broadcasting purposes, if you're not. Like, just fine him a 2-game suspension. They're not fucking players. They're radio announcers.
Yeah,
like, what are we doing here?
I did see somebody from the Flyers organization say, congratulations, Flyers. You took something that was objectively funny and made it a national news story for no reason.
It's the Barbara Streisand effect.
Yep.
Where, like, if this had just been like a hot mic moment, everybody would have been like, oh, haha, that's funny. But now that you had to act like it was this big fucking deal, it's just like, okay, but like weird?
Yeah.
Like, you're weird about it?
The stories I could tell of hot mics, they're always so much fun. But most of the time, let me correct myself, most of the time they're fun. But yeah, I saw that. I gasped at work in like just a disbelief way, and then I died laughing. And I was like, I have to get Saint before she watches this. So, yep, that's that's what's been going on in the league today. All right, Saint, do we have a sponsor today?
We do have a sponsor today. Today's sponsor is SaintAstra, a Twitch streamer, cosplayer, and artist. You can support her by purchasing from her Etsy or subscribing on twitch.tv/SaintAstra. Use your free Prime sub and get access to awesome emotes. SaintAstra's Etsy also sells a variety of jewelry, decorations, and trinkets. Everything is handmade and crafted with the perfect balance of love and spite. All proceeds go directly to the SaintAstra hockey-related DIY fund.
Let's turn to our one-timer topic of the week, where we take one shot at the biggest story. Saint, this week's topic, there's been a bunch of change conversations happening in the league this week. Most notably, the Sabres made a big change. Their GM is now, it was Kevin Adams, is now Jarmo Kekalainen.
Jarmo Kekalainen. I'm excited.
Yes.
For the change.
Kevin Adams had only been in the position for like 8 months.
No, really?
I think
Are you
so.
kidding?
No, I think so.
Kevin, I thought it was like 8 years.
You could be right. I
Hold on. I now we gotta look this up, because I'm genuinely like, huh? On June 16th, 2020, he was named the team's general manager. So he's only been doing it for like 5 years.
Okay, I don't know why maybe
like
maybe
like 5.5 years.
You know who Jarmo Kekalainen was the one who had just been announced in May, I believe. He was recent. He was a new addition to the Sabres team. He was the Columbus Blue Jackets former GM, and from what I've read, he wasn't stellar, but he wasn't bad either. Which,
I mean, I'm looking at the highlight reel here on Wikipedia. He traded Sam Reinhart to the Panthers for
that's Kevin Adams.
That I know, but I'm saying this is who they're replacing.
Yeah.
So like I get that it was a first round pick. Yeah. He was the reason Eichel left.
Shocking no one.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think he was a bad GM. I just think that the Sabres issues extend up a little higher than just GM. But hopefully, if I don't know, you said so he was Columbus Jackets.
Yes,
GM?
and he was
Jarmo Kekalainen.
Yes, he was the GM. He, I believe, got ousted in the first year that we watched, 2024 season. He wasn't stellar, wasn't bad. He was apparently really good at picking talent, but that's not the Sabres' issue. Sabres are really good at picking talent.
Yeah, that's the running joke. Yeah. Like I don't feel like, well, it's also just because they have usually like lottery picks, and therefore by default, if you're getting 3 first round picks, you're gonna. I just
Oh, also, this is the third time in team history that they're getting a GM with GMing experience.
Huh. I mean, like, I guess it's really only been an issue the like playoff curse hit. You know what I mean? Like, other than that, it wasn't really an issue.
But they've not. How many cups have the Sabres won?
None.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, but
at least they used to make playoffs.
That's on talent alone. They got to get the whole way through. And earlier we mentioned the conversation about the Kraken. I have no clue if you've heard anything about this. There's been discussion that Lane Lambert needs to go, and the Kraken have lost the 10 of their last 11. This is what I was saying earlier, is that it's been abysmal. And now, granted, they're playing teams that are very stellar, but they lost 2 to the Oilers, but that doesn't necessarily excuse it. You know what I mean? So this week they had a post-game conversation with Lane Lambert, and they let only one reporter talk to him during the scrum, and it was the Seattle Kraken reporter that they pay to ask questions. And the only answers that Lane Lambert gave were like, good, gotta do better, we'll figure it out next time. Like 1-word, 2-word answers. And it was, I can find the video, but it was the most awkward thing.
I just don't like what is happening in hockey right now, where reporters are not being allowed to do their jobs.
Yeah. I mean, it's Vegas is doing the same thing.
Yeah, like, and now Chicago, like, I don't like that.
Yep.
If you have a press pass, you're a legitimate, reporting organization, whether that's digital or print, and you're not letting these people ask questions. I understand, like, you don't want. I don't like it. Here's the problem.
It's the same thing that we're seeing nationwide.
Like, I have a problem in general. Like, okay, I'm not like dick writing on journalists and reporters here, because
some of them
global news media overall has been a complete failure in how they're just basically paid off to write whatever their rich benefactors tell them to write. However, we're talking about sports reporting, and on that level of sports reporting, let the guys ask the fucking questions.
Yes.
Most reporters are asking the same, like, 20 variations of different questions across the season, like, and the players don't really have that much depth to answer to, or even the coaches. But like, to not be able, if you can't handle quote unquote hard-hitting questions about decisions that your organization or you as a coach or you as a player are making, then you shouldn't be answering those questions in the first place. Get somebody with PR training in there, or get like a PR person. But like, this is honestly, if you want to talk about like, oh, well, this is a job, like players need to show up, this is their job. Well, this is also part of that fucking job. Exactly. If a coach doesn't want to answer the fucking questions, then he shouldn't be the coach, because this is part of his job description. Like, and as somebody, I do not like this at all.
As somebody who has been on both the reporting side and the PR side, I understand how easy it is to want to like go into your shell and just not answer. You can be really vague. Like, the sports reporters aren't going to ask hard-pressing questions. Most of them are not. I'm not talking about you, Emily Kaplan. But yeah, it was one of the most awkward interviews I've ever seen. And I've seen Chris Knobloch have a 10-second hot mic, dead air, of him trying to figure out how to politely say that they trusted their goalie. Like, there's moments that are out there that are like, oof, yikes, but not letting another reporter ask questions. Now, this is a PR issue. And Seattle PR had to issue a statement the same way that the freaking Flyers did and be like, yeah, sorry, we only let one reporter ask questions. And the reporter's questions were not good. Let me be honest. Also, this would be their, if they let Lambert go, which I would not be shocked if they did either after the new year or after Olympics. This will be the fourth coach that they've had since their inaugural season.
What?
Yeah, and one of them.
That's like a coach a year.
Dan Bilia. No, let me be clear. Their first head coach lasted until 2024. Then last year it was Dan Biasma. Then he got fired. Then it was Lane Lambert, and now he's on the verge of being fired. So
okay, so this was like a rapid acceleration, like the kaiju, where it's like now there's one of it, now there's two, then we'll have four new coaches in the same season. Like,
it's
Jesus Christ, though, that's not good.
Not the only coach that's been in hot water recently. And I know you haven't heard of this one. This one hurts. Okay, I'm going to play this video for you. It's so bad.
To me, they played with more passion than we did tonight. I mean, that's what it boils down to. It looked to me like they had way more urgency in their game, more passion in their game. That's the difference.
How do you explain that, considering where you are at the standings?
Ask those guys, not me.
Is it
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yep. That was the quote. Ask those guys, not me. For context, the Leafs lost to the Capitals 4-0.
Well, we just lost 4-0 to the Senators.
I know. But y'all still have passion. You're just terrified of things.
No.
You have panic. You have panic.
Okay, that's true. We do have emotions. It's
you
free
do have
skate
emotions.
day 90% of the time, but then they do play sometimes.
The Leafs don't want to play hockey. So that was the comment last night. And it stings like that. Don't like the comment of ask them, not me. That is a coach who's lost the room.
I think you have to okay. I think that as a coach, and I don't play sports, guys. I don't know anything, but I know a little bit about other things that I believe are tangentially related to coaching. You have to present a united front, right? You have to be the guy that is protecting your players because you're their coach, you're their leader, you're who they look to, you're the voice of the room. Like, yes, there's leadership within the players. Yes, there's a lot of nuance to it. But at the end of the day, your head coach is who you look to for guidance and answers and solutions. And so your coach should be calling you out on your shit privately in the game, in practice, in the locker room. To the media, you should have their backs. And if you don't have their backs, why the fuck would they listen to you? And if he's lost the room so far before that he's just kind of throwing them, like, that's really the question, is the chicken or the egg, is did he give up on them and that's why they have no passion, or did they give up on themselves overall? Like, or did he I don't know. Like, who gave up first?
There's been conversation that he's trying to put on a system of hockey that the team is not built for. And we've talked about this with Mike Sullivan. He did the same thing at the end of his term at the Pens. And just wasn't vibing with the current setup. And that's why some of the players were like, I wasn't playing what I should be playing for my set of hockey. And then you have a ton of injuries, which I will give the Leafs the credit. They have been very injured. But you know how we talked about the Oilers being broken from the Stanley Cup loss twice in a row? I think this Leafs team is broken, like, to the core after losing to Florida. They look like they haven't had any sort of passion for a while. And I think Austin Matthews, he's either going through something, he's like playing hurt, which would not shock me at all, or he's genuinely just lost the love of the sport.
They traded his buddy away.
Yeah.
I genuinely wonder if he's going to be one of those cases where he kind of falls off for a few years because he's hurt.
Yeah.
And they should reduce his ice minutes, let him recover a little bit. and then maybe he'll bounce back. But if he's not getting like the healing that he needs, he's kind of cooked. Like I feel that way with quite a few players.
I agree.
Where I'm like, I don't think you should be playing right now. Like that's the problem, right? Is like they're grown adults. They can make their own decisions. You know, when do they get to play? And it's like, well, if technically you can play, but I think that's a Frederic problem too. Is I think he's still ankle injuries. According to some of the reading that I was doing on it, ankle injuries are kind of if you don't let it heal right, you're kind of cooked. And I'm a little bit worried that they're not letting Frederic's ankle heal enough.
Yeah.
Or just that it's not going to heal. Because ankles are kind of fucking wacky.
Yep.
And I don't know. Yeah.
I see that, and I do think that the Leafs make yet another coaching change. People are always like, well, Connor McDavid's had the same amount of coaches. And I'm like, yeah, but Connor McDavid is also Connor McDavid, and B, has gotten to the Stanley Cup final twice. And so, because you can't fire the players, so that's...
trade them.
Well, funny.
Give us Austin Matthews.
Funny. I saw some people being like, yeah, you could trade Austin Matthews to, like, the Caps. But here's my question. Who do you hire instead?
This is the same problem as this is the eternal question in hockey, really, between coaches and goalies. I feel like those are the two problems, right?
Yep.
Of what goalie do you get or what coach do you get? Because that's how we were with Dallas, where it was like we weren't originally sure if they were going to fire Pete DeBoer because it was like, okay, but then who do you put on as a coach? Like, who do you?
And we finally got some fresh blood. Dan Muse, Glenn for Dallas, he was an Oilers assistant coach, and he's doing fantastic. The three big names that are out there, okay, Pete DeBoer, which I do not think that will go well.
Their goalies have been through enough. Don't make them endure Pete DeBoer.
Well, he's also just known for throwing his players under the bus. And I do not think that they will listen to him because they know what he's like. And I don't think he's learned his lesson. The Tortellini is another one. John Tortorella is another conversation that has been happening. I would pay money to have the Leafs hire John Tortorella. I would pay money.
I was just seeing tweets because of the new episode of Heated Rivalry about like what if John Tortorella was the coach. Keep your fucking head up. And like how he would have been like, and he's such a dichotomous figure as a coach in that like he fights so hard for his players. He's literally willing to get in fistfights for his players. And then he's also like such a fuckhead about like he's psycho. About like psycho. You can't go to I'm gonna bench my fucking captain. Like, and honestly, I think that's not a bad thing. I think you should always have the ability to bench any player regardless of their salary or veteran status. I think he takes it a little too far.
I agree. I don't think that he is actually in contention for the spot that Berube might leave. But it is very funny. If that is the if the mental image is very funny. And then we've got Derek Lalonde, who is the former Red Wings coach. I don't know much about him, honestly. That's another name that I've seen out there. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, geez, there's not a lot of names. Maybe they go for somebody brand new. But I do think that this team is fundamentally broken. And I hate to say that because I do think Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner and William Nylander all deserve a cup. But they don't have any picks. Like, they have no picks. And their team right now doesn't have a life. Like, they don't look like they have anything going on for them. So I gotta show you this. This is so fucking funny. So I know you know who Steve Dangle is. He puts out a video every game. And I need you to understand I need you to specifically
watch it. How does he do that?
It.
Wait, a 20-minute video? The hockey game's not that like what are you talking about for 20 minutes? For 20 minutes?
Yep.
I mean, I could nap forever, but
here is just a screenshot of the episode.
Oh, bud. Oh, bud.
Oh, man. Anyways, that's the current mood of the Leafs fan.
Yeah,
and I'm so sorry, gang.
Pens aren't doing much better, but at least we didn't trade away our
Gino.
Yeah, basically.
Saint, I feel like we've had this conversation like 3 times this year alone.
We've had like a dozen episodes. Not even.
Yep. Did you see the hit on my beloved Brandon Hagel from fucking Seth Jones on the Florida Panthers?
Oh my God. I liked one tweet of this conversation, by the way. Just one.
Yep.
And then that was my entire dash for 2 days. And I stopped going on Twitter for 2 days because I couldn't fucking deal with it. And I was like, I don't care. I just don't care.
I care a lot.
I care in the fact that like
Department of Panther Safety is out there not putting not punishing freaking teams.
My thing is like it's multifaceted, right? One is you have I don't like to disparage Panthers fans overall because we know good Panthers fans who have been fans of the game for a while, who before they were bandwagoning and they know puck, and like they were there through the dark days, right? Like,
right.
You know, and so you have to give a certain level of respect to that. And then there's these new fans who are like, rah, rah, we back to backs, you fucking losers. It's like, okay, you guys were like, hold on. Let's hold on. How long have we been crying about the Panthers getting away with shit? Again, it's not that they play dirty. Every team does dirty hits sometimes. Every team has moments where you go, ooh, you should not have done that. The difference is that it needs to be addressed. And for the fans, I'm sorry, Hagel had a late hit. It was a clean hit.
On Barkey?
Was there. Yes, that's their whole thing. Because that's the whole thing is that Hagel hit Barkey, and it was a late hit. He hit him thinking that Barkey would have the puck. It wasn't a dirty hit in the way that like he was trying to take him out. It was very obviously like he thought he was going to have the puck at that time and was trying to line up the hit. Barkey didn't even he got suspended for it, I believe.
He did.
And Barkey was relatively okay.
He popped right back up.
At what point? That's what I don't get about the Panthers fans who are like, well, you hurt Barkey and we're gonna kill you forever.
Because Hagel got concussed at that end of the playoffs.
You're gonna literally put this kid into an early grave.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, is that what it's gonna take? Is like the head hunting? Because that's what this is head hunting. Is like at what point, like as people, as human beings, I just cannot get behind this, even if I didn't like Hagel. And I don't really like Hagel that much. I know that you like him, but I just don't have any strong feelings on him. This dude is literally gonna get CTE from all of these hits. For what? For fucking what? Like, and again, that wouldn't be an issue if the Department of Player Safety was fairly calling shit. Like, how many times have we seen this season the Panthers and the Lightning play, the Lightning get supplementary discipline and the Panthers don't get any?
Yes.
Like, I don't understand how this is not me being like a Panthers hater, because I tried really hard to like go into this with like, okay, like, you know, is this just us being salty? Statistics don't lie.
Yeah.
And like the statistics are that the Panthers get away with fucking murder. Like no other team to this degree. Like, don't get me wrong, they still get calls, but the level of like they do not get called for supplementary discipline when they absolutely should. And just the fact that they're allowed to throw hits like this in a fucking regulation game where clearly I mean, Marshy was stealth punched. We've seen them do this so many times, but there's no consequences. So they get to do whatever they want. And then everybody else comes in and tries to play tough, and then they get disciplined for it. Like, I don't like it. I don't think it's good for the game. It's not to me what I'm all for players like supporting each other and like taking matters into their own hands.
But also, here's my thing. Here's my thing. That was last fucking season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how long they literally like Panthers fans in these replies have literally said basically until Hagel retires, they get to just take a run at him every game.
And this is going to continue. This is going to fucking continue until something happens. Either he's going to die on the ice or he's going to be forcibly retired at 26. I don't even know how old he is. Or they're going to just... Honestly, I think what they should do is John Cooper, they're playing on the 27th. John Cooper needs to come out and be like, listen, we don't trust that the Panthers are going to play the way that they should. They're not playing good hockey because this is not good hockey. This is genuinely not good hockey. They're not going to play good hockey. They're completely trying to hurt us. And the Department of Player Safety is not doing anything. So we are forfeiting the game. Sucks for Panthers fans. Sucks for Lightning fans. You paid money. Then the league should fucking do something about it.
Yeah.
I would be pissed. I would be pissed at John Cooper in the moment. But if you want the game to actually matter, so people don't fucking die, we're gonna have to bring goons back, and we can't bring goons back because the Panthers have all the fucking goons, and then the Panthers are gonna go gooning, and every other team tries to do the same thing, and they get called out on it.
Well, and that's my issue, is like, fine, be the Broad Street Bullies, be the big bad Bruins, but you got to get called on it. Like, this is what my thought was when, like, this happened, is I was, like, giggling to myself of, like, do you think Marshy is, like, delighted to be on a team where he's not going to get called for anything? Because, like, that's what
he's having the best season of his fucking life.
Because when he was in the Bruins, and he was a dirty player, and, like, he was, like, he got called out at it. He got away with a lot, but like he also like had record-breaking penalty minutes. You know what I mean? Like he had a lot of suspensions, and there was a point where like Bruins leadership was like, "Dude, you're a good player. Stop fucking doing this." And he mellowed out in like the last few years, but like that's now he's just like, "Oh well, I can do it." Okay, well, and he's not even the biggest player. Like he's not like he's being a pest, but he's not like putting elbows to people's heads. I don't know. I love this sport, but man, and I like the fighting and I like the good hits, but elbows to the head, you're just a piece of shit. Like you are just objectively a piece of shit. Get good at the game, you fucking loser, and stop trying to.
You can't ask the Panthers to do that. They've gotten to the fucking Stanley Cup final 3 times because they were dirty and they didn't get called out on it. Oops, did I say that out loud? I'm gonna have a penalty called.
But that's the problem. To me, it's a thing where it undermines the legitimacy of their wins in a way that they don't necessarily deserve. They play really good hockey. Yeah. They're a tough team. Paul Maurice's like mantra of pound their D, make it hurt, exhaust them with your physicality, the aggressive forecheck. That's great hockey. It's crazy to watch and it works. So why do you have to throw in elbows to the head? I just
punches to the head.
Yeah,
killing their goalies,
like taking a run at the goalie with no fucking calls. Like I just don't understand why you would like. Because to me, that is just it just really aggravates me. I just don't like it when you're gonna take a run and play. I get mad at the Penguins for it. I get mad at the Oilers for it. Yeah. Like I've literally going like a 5-minute cussing out of my own players because I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? That was so stupid.
Because for us, it'll get called.
Yeah, well, and also just in general, I don't like that mentality.
I don't like dirty hits. I don't like dirty hits. I don't like dirty plays. I don't like dirty players. Looking at you, Evander Kane. Oh my God.
I believe in holding your players accountable. If you're a fan of the team, you need to be able to talk about your players in both directions. It's back to that Quinn Hughes shit where it's like, well, when he was on the Canucks, he could do no wrong, but now that he's not on the Canucks, suddenly he's a bad captain, he's a bad this, he's a bad that. And it's just copium. But like, be a little self-aware, sports fans.
That's asking a lot. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move into Sportsmanlike Conduct.
What a freaking segue.
Where we spin the wheel to pick our team of the week. And no matter whose it lands on, we have to say something nice to spread a little love on the ice. Saint.
That's so nice.
Man, I hope we don't get the Panthers.
I think you fucking jinxed it, bitch. We talked about a lot of teams. Usually it's a team we either... Well...
Oh! Okay,
oh, man,
the Boston Bruins.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh, man, look at the Bruins.
The Bruins.
Oh man. Why are they trying to make
It's gonna force tears.
Okay.
All right. Lock the fuck in.
You want to be?
The Boston Bruins. You go first.
I love the history of the Bruins.
Ooh.
I like their uniforms, like a black and yellow bitch. I love the city of Boston. TD Garden was a lot of fun to go to. It was the sports culture of Boston is fucking psychopathic.
That was going to be mine.
It's crazy in both a good and bad way. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take the good with the bad. But like, yeah, I just it's fun to hate them, but they're also fun to root for. Like, I don't know. I just really like
it's a really big depth. Like, you know, we talk about the sports city. That was, again, going to be mine. There is nothing like going to a sports city where every single sport that they have, they are 100% behind.
Mm-hmm,
like, you know how some cities have, oh, well, I'm a Steelers fan, or I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan. They only care about the football or the basketball team. Boston cares about everything to a point of like nitpickiness. And that is incredible, because as somebody who doesn't have any sports team around, I would love to be part of something like that. My other thing that I love is how well they treated Marshy on his way back, with their tribute video.
Made him cry, made everybody cry. Like,
I also, this is a really deep dive. I also love the fact that when we went to TD Garden, and walked around, when we got the club seats, we walked around and we saw this, the audio booth, where we absolutely lost our minds in that food court.
Because we got to see, because at most club seats in arenas, you get, like, that's where the recordings are done for different broadcasters. And so it was just cool to be like, oh, that's
I know that. And what was actually very funny was we both, like, you were on the phone with your mom and we both like saw it, both turned back and had a like mini meltdown in front of two people who were like, why is this a big deal? So I thought that was neat. Boston was such a fun place to go to. If you haven't had the chance to go see a game, hockey or otherwise, in Boston, highly, highly, highly recommend it. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite cities to visit. And like I said, TD Garden was really, really cool. All the history, when we had gotten the club seats.
Yeah.
He was talking about how these, like, the seats that we were in were like the original ones from like different, from like
days,
whatever. Yeah, the old school days. And just like, it was like, there's the history, like we had talked about some of the history behind it, but one of my favorite stories is, I believe it was World War II, where there was like, these soldiers had written to the Bruins and were like, you know, save it if you make us, like, it just written to the Bruins because they were off to war. And like, it was just so cool to like see them rooting for something back home.
Yes.
During that time, you know what I mean? And how much that sport means to so many people, and how much the team means to people throughout history in a way that only the original six can really match. Like, and just the, you know, the 100 years, getting to see like their history through years at the arena and like walking through one of the halls that they have, just really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Boston, we like you. Sorry to our family members who hate you, but we really like Boston.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode, folks. We really appreciate you listening through all of our rants and ramblings. The Puck Witches podcast is released on Spotify and our YouTube channels, and you can join the Night Witches Discord via the link below to talk about the episodes directly, as well as enjoy our other channels. It's full of gaming, hobbies, and good vibes.
Make sure you're following us over on Twitch, and if you want to support us with Prime on either or both of our channels, you get access to cute emotes and extra channel points. If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to subscribe. Oh my God. If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky for updates.
And lastly, don't forget to check out Saint's Etsy or subscribe on Twitch. Also consider dropping a like on this episode and subscribing so you never miss a video. We love you all and hope the hockey season and the holiday season are treating you well. Champ and Saint, signing off.
Stay witchy!